Alright, so looks like I'm recording. Alright, on the bench tonight, we've got a 2015 MacBook Air. With the client said no power. It hasn't been turning on it's been sitting for about a year. The client already opened it and had a preliminary look around. So we're kind of doing this a little weird right now. This time we're looking at stuff. Oh, the keyboard's unplugged. Oh yeah, they unhooked everything. So we're gonna go ahead and power it on as is up on the power supply. Looks really, this board's really clean. So they did say note that there was some corrosion on the other side of the logic board. There's a couple of spots. So we'll check that out. But right now we're gonna see. We'll just take a quick peek. After I wipe down my mat, take a quick peek and see how much current it's drawing. See if we can't fix it. Apologize for all the noise. I'll stop using screen wipes to wipe this off. They're like $3 a pack. I go through those things like mad, but they're so convenient. I love using them. They smell good and keep things clean, or you can use them on anything like screens, cases and stuff. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and power this on real quick and see what we get for current draw. Alright, so it goes up to 196 milliamps briefly for like a quarter of a second, and then it drops down to 13 milliamps. Now 13 milliamps means something, there's a short or something probably. So, alright, and the battery and everything is unhooked, so 13 milliamps, huh? Alright. We'll go ahead and take the board out. Might as well. Go ahead and take out everything. Take out the SSD so their data is safe. Tweezers, trust the tweezers. Take out the camera cable and everything. I mentioned this is a MacBook Air. Oh, should probably get a box. Get a box for our screws and everything. Keep all that stuff nice and organized. Oop. Board out here. Fan screws. We'll go ahead and leave our DC in board in because we don't need that. We've got our own DC in board. Oops. I shouldn't put that with the logic board. That's the CPU heatsink screw. And yeah, right now I don't see anything. Don't see anything corrosion-wise on this side, so just kind of curious. My client was talking about there's corrosion on the other side of the board. Probably, hopefully it's not the SMC, but knowing my luck, it probably is. It's probably the SMC, and we're going to have to do an SMC reflow or reball. Oh, wait, the battery was plugged in. I lied. Alright, let's try this again with the battery unplugged. What kind of current draw do we get? Yep. 26 milliamps. Missing PM sleep as for a bummer. Probably. Why is a good question. Why we're missing that power rail, I don't know. But after working on all these MacBook Pros, man, these Airs are so easy to take apart. I see evidence of corrosion. And they did say they cleaned the board with alcohol before giving it to me, which will impede progress ever so slightly, but we'll still figure it out. I could see a couple of spots of what looks like corrosion used to be. Oh, you can't see that. But like down here, down in that area, down in this area over here, there's a couple of liquid run spots. So we'll check it out under the microscope and see. All is wrong. This is 8 gigs of RAM. Okay. Alright. Now let's do our visual inspection here. Why this little MacBook is not turning on. ISO 958 looks okay. See a couple little water spot area over here. Next to a couple resistors, but it's nothing big. Oh, there's our problem. Yep. Our cap for U1950 is missing its end, the bypass cap, and I see some corrosion under U1950, so that will definitely make it look like we're missing PM Sleep S4. Oh yeah, that U1950 is buggered, so we're gonna have to replace that for sure. Yep. Let's see, where else do we have? I knew U1950 usually gets taken out when there's liquid. And I see a little bit of, next to two of our lines for our SMC, I see a couple of resistors that'll probably need to be replaced. But I don't think our SMC is probably going to be our problem. I'm going to focus on U1950. Yeah, I'm willing to wager a U1950 is our problem. Now, you know, since the client helps pay the bills, I don't usually give them grief about cleaning stuff with alcohol before I get to it, because that just makes it a little more difficult to diagnose. But they were really good about pointing out the areas that they thought had corrosion, and they didn't clean the inside of the case where the little backlight mask is. They didn't clean that, so that I can line it up and kind of get an idea of where corrosion was. Let's look at our solder balls under SMC. Yeah, no, I think our SMC is okay. I don't really see any evidence of anything under it. Yeah, I think our SMC is okay. So we'll go after U1950 first. I'm willing to bet once we've get rid of all that corrosion there, and touch up a few solder joints, this thing will fire up. I'm fairly confident. How long have we been recording for? 9 minutes? Sweet. So Alright, where's my tweezers at? Alright, it's going to get a little noisy. So I apologize for the noise. I'm going to go ahead and pull off U1950. And what is that capacitor called? What's the name of that one? Let's see, this is a 00165 board. I've done so many of these repairs now, it's ridiculous. C1950. It's a bypass cap, yeah, that goes to pin, or ball 8, pin 8, which is PB3B42 G3 hot. Once this U1950 is responsible for PMSOP good. But once it gets all these signals, it puts out ALSYS power good to our SMC. It shoots out ALSYS power good to our SMC into a couple other places. And then when the SMC gets ALSYS power good, it will do a PDF. Send that to the CPU, I believe. The PCH. Where is my PDF? Can I have my PDF? No. OBS doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Wants to monopolize. So yeah, ALSYS power good goes to our CPU. Yep. Goes to our PCH or CPU. Or yeah, goes to the SMC. Now ALSYS power good goes to the SMC, and then SMC shoots. I don't exactly remember, but it shoots out a signal to the CPU that all the power rails are good. So let's remove this stuff and see. Kind of warm the board up a little bit. Go ahead and get rid of these corroded components. You know, there's a resistor or two over the side we'll have to get rid of. Now I could just get away with, oh, we're at 225 degrees Celsius. We're never going to get there. Wow. I forgot I was messing with taking screens apart. Yeah, we need to go up to 430. This is going to take all night. No, not 500. Go to 430. Yeah, there's no way to get away with leaving U1950 on there. It's too much. There's too much corrosion on there. Yep. So that pad, the pad on C1950 on the side. Oh yeah, it's corrosion everywhere. It's nasty. We're gonna take a picture of that real quick. Ouch. Hot. We'll take a picture of U1950 and C1950 removed. Oh, I hope the pad's still under there. That'd be good. That'd be nice if the pad were still under there. Let's take a picture of that real quick. Someday I'm going to buy a microscope camera. Don't use flash. No need to use flash. There we go. Say cheese. Alright. Now let's do a little scraping and cleaning here and see if we can't bring the pads back. We'll put a new U1950 on there and a new C1950. Get a little solder here. Looks like we might luck out. Son of a gun. I'll be darned. Pads are still there. Ha! Yay! Well, that's awesome. Usually that's not the case. Normally the pads are completely gone, eroded away. I'm pretty sure this is going to fix our problem. I don't know 100%. It could have other issues, but I kind of am trying to be positive. Oh, well, that pad's a little loose. Probably shouldn't be reefing on it that much. I think we may lose that pad. It's definitely loose. I mean, it's not going to fall off or anything, but it's definitely a little loose. I think if we're careful, we might be able to keep it. I mean, it's just not stuck down to the substrate or to the board. It's not broken or anything. It's still fully attached. I think if we're really careful, whoopsie, we just removed our resistor. Sorry about that, dude. If you want to come out of my, if you want to come out of my solder braid, I'll put you back on if you didn't fly. You didn't fly too far. Where did you go? Hello? Where'd you go, little resistor? Did you fly away? Oh, there you are. Is that you? Yep, it is. Come here. Let me put you back in your home. Because you're probably still good. You weren't corroded or anything. You just accidentally got removed. Okay. Now, I think we'll grab our little resistor and put him back. Come on. Let me just kind of get you squared away there a little bit. Oops. Come on. Alright. Now, we'll use some alcohol and clean up the old flux because the flux is starting to get ruined. We'll lay down some fresh flux. Solder us a U1950 and a C1950. Touch up some other spots on this board. So that'll work for now. And we'll give it a proper throw, washing once I'm done. There's really no point in cleaning it like crazy right now. I'm just gonna throw more flux and solder on there, so it's kind of pointless to clean it right now. Just put a little tiny bit of flux on there. Cool. Coax this solder into place. Now we get a replacement. Get the replacements. Do we have a 1950 on here? We do. Capacitor. I'll go ahead and replace these two things, and then we'll fire the board up to see if it works. And if it does, we'll go ahead and clean the corrosion, or clean the other two small areas that have some resistors that have some dark end caps. We'll go ahead and replace those too. Make this board nice and clean. Whoop, where did you fly off to now? Oh, there you are. Don't go far. I'm going to put you in a new house. Hot. Okay. Just need to get our capacitor to fall online here. Get him to fall online and be done. Other than cleaning up some stuff. Boom. Just like that. Touch up these solder joints on this stuff real quick. Alright. 1950 looks to be soldered on there pretty good, so we're going to clean this area up a little better this time. Classic U1950 fault corrosion. Some people would go and replace or mess with the SMC because it's missing PM sleep S4L, and that signal comes from the CPU and goes to the SMC. not this guy. First thing I'd suspect is 1950. Or gets if any corrosion gets on C1950 on the PP4 side, not even the ground side, it will corrode that trace and ruin it so quick. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and replace those resistors too, but let's try the board real quick just for the heck of it. Alright, we're gonna get a DC in board. DC in board. Get a DC in board. And we'll try. We'll see if replacing U1950 was the ticket, or if we. Guess I should have checked. I didn't even check PB bus or anything. Probably should have, but today's the do everything backwards day. It's like fix corrosion, then try power rails. Not the way I usually do things. But oh well. It's Tuesday. We'll do things backwards. Let's see what happens. We're just replacing our U1950 and everything. Oh. Look what we got. See if I can get the board in here without ruining things. What's that? What is that? And what's that? Well, we already had an orange light on the charger, but what is that? That's fan spin right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a spinning fan. We're drawing 430 milliamps, so, and let's, just for a kicker, where are my speakers? We'll plug a speaker in just, is this my MacBook Air speaker? See if we can get a chime out of this puppy, huh? What do you say? CPU's nice and warm. I'm gonna flip the speaker up here. Let's see if we can get a chime out of her. See if we can hear it. There's a chime. Yep, got fan spin chime. Obviously are posting. Let's check our CPU V-core. Yep, 1.8 volts. Winner, winner. Yep, this is now a working board. Okay. Awesome. Well, now all that's left to do really is to fix the couple of corroded components that I saw. There's our, let me look up the two resistors. I can't remember the names, but before I butcher them and forget, the top one is SMC_TMS, and the second one is SMC_TDO. Those two are next to the SMC. those signals go to the SMC from PP3, V4, 2, G3 hot. And they have yellow caps, end caps, so we're going to go ahead and replace those just to for longevity purposes, to make the board last a long time. So I see those two, the top one, both sides are almost black, like can't quite knock it off the board, but it's should probably replace those. Anything else? The BIOS area looks just fine. There's a little bit of residue here from what looks like where they cleaned it with alcohol. So I'll probably just do another general inspection. I'll just do another little general inspection on stuff. And replace any components that I see that are kind of nasty looking. Everything else looks really good. Like the other side of the board looks fantastic. This side, not so much. But I may ultrasonic this, I don't know. Because this is still really clean. I mean, I guess I could ultrasonic it, but why? This little resistor, I'm going to touch the solder joint, touch that solder joint up on that one. And then those two resistors by the SMC. That's all I can see that really looks like it needs anything. The rest of these are all pretty shiny and everything. Nothing else looks too bad. So yeah, well, I'm happy to say this board is working now. So once I touch up those two, we'll get it back in the chassis and test it and move on to the next one. So that's it for now. I'm not going to bore you with replacing those two resistors and everything. That's pretty routine. The board already works, so there's no point in really filming that. But anyway, yep, that's it. So until the next repair, see ya.